Hello everybody, Raptor for Life here, bringing you guys my brand new Raid Raptor deck profile. I haven't done a deck profile of Raid Raptors in a while. Like, I can't even remember the last time I've done one. I absolutely love this deck though. It is a lot of fun to play. It can search like crazy. The only issue I've had with Raid Raptors, like ever, is that they are usually slow to start. Now, this is a lot different from the build that you guys have seen me play online. That's because I've slimmed it down a lot. This is 40 cards, 2 to dot, and I feel like it's working a lot better. There's still stuff that I want to incorporate into the deck, but there's just not enough room without going above 40 cards, and it just drives me nuts. But however, anyways, let's get on to the actual deck profile before I ramble for the next 10 minutes. 3, Raid Raptor Tribute Lanius. This guy is one of the really good Raid Raptors, and we really needed him. Basically what this guy does is, during a turn it was normal or special summon, you can send a Raid Raptor from your deck to the graveyard. It can be a Raid Raptor card, so you can send something like Raid Raptor Readiness or Return, stuff like that. But however, generally speaking, you're going to send a monster to extend your plays and stuff. He's got 1800 attack. He has another effect where if he runs over a monster, you can search out a rank up, quick play. Really good. I absolutely just love this card. That's all I really got to say. He's one of the helpful cards that just the deck really needed. And then the first Raid Raptor that became a bit of a meme for a little bit, and that is Raid Raptor Finishing Lanius. Now, if you don't know what I meant by whenever he became a little bit of a meme, the guy who plays Raid Raptors in the anime, for the longest time, all he ever summoned from his main deck is Raid Raptor Finishing Lanius, and it wasn't until like episode 40-something that we actually saw him summon something other than Raid Raptor Finishing Lanius. Basically, what this thing does is whenever it's normal or special summoned, during that turn, you can special summon out another Raid Raptor from your hand. It has to be level 4 lower though, which kind of sucks because there is a level, well, okay, the level 3 it works with, but the level 6 it can't work with, so that just makes the level 6 even worse, sadly. Now then, with that being said though, he is one of them key cards in the deck. You want to see him ASAP, because he is literally just a marauding captain. He can keep summoning out himself. If you happen to summon multiples in one turn, you can use all of their effects. It's not a blanket once per turn effect, and it is just so good. I play 3 Raid Raptor Mimicry Lanius. This card is one of the key cards of the deck to get your combo going. If this card is in the graveyard and it was sent there that turn, you can banish it, add any Raid Raptor card except itself from your deck to your hand. Also, during the turn that it was special summoned or normal summoned, you can increase the levels of all Raid Raptors by 1. So, basically, it lets you go into a rank 5, or heck, if you summon out multiples, you can go into a rank 6, which you don't really do that often, but that'd be kind of cool if somebody did. I absolutely love this card. Actually, I love this whole deck. So, yeah, it's really necessary into the deck. He lets you go into Blaze Falcon, he lets you search. I kind of hate it how you can just burn through these things so fast. Like, you'll have all 3 banished before you know it, and like, oh crap, I can't go into Blaze Falcon except by rank up, which kind of sucks. Next up, Raid Raptor Fuzzy Lanius. My only complaint with this card is that he's not fuzzy. So basically this thing, he's level 4, 500 attack, 1500 defense. If you control a Raid Raptor, you can special summon him from your hand. And if you do, for the rest of this turn, you cannot summon anything except for Raid Raptors. And if he is sent to the graveyard in any way, you get to add another copy of himself from your deck to your hand. And if you do, you can't summon anything except for Raid Raptors that turn. So, if you use either of his effects, you can't summon anything except for Raid Raptors that turn. That is very obnoxious, and quite a few of the Raid Raptor cards do have that effect. Raid Raptor Call has it as well, and stuff like that. And it's very obnoxious because it makes you want to only play in-house cards, basically in-archetype cards. And for the most part, your extra deck is mostly Raid Raptor cards, but it prevents you from going into stuff like Estelle 101, stuff like that. It's still a really good card. You absolutely need him. He's really good. Like, heck, if you open Tribute Lanius and him, it's an instant 4-strix, and you just absolutely need him at 3 in your deck. Next up, I play 2 Sharp Lanius. I was playing 3, but then I bumped him down to 2 for consistency issues. He he's really good in the Monarch match because you can just change any of your opponent's Monarchs to defense and attack over it. Basically, what he does is during a turn he was normal or special summon, you can target one monster on the field, change its battle position, and if he attacks that turn during main phase 2, you can special summon a Raid Raptor from your graveyard. He's really, really good in the Monarch matchup because you can just switch a Monarch to defense, attack over it. Heck, so much so I'd recommend siding a third against Monarchs just in case. But however, he's really only necessary at 2, which is kind of sad because being able to special summon a Raid Raptor from your graveyard is really good late game. Especially when you're running out of stuff in your deck, because this is one of those decks where late game you will run out of resources because you just have searched so much, which is kind of a bit of annoying. Now then, I play one Raid Raptor Necro Vulture. Basically what this guy does is once per turn you contribute off any Raid Raptor you control, add a rank up magic from your graveyard back to your hand. During the turn that you use this effect, you cannot exceed summon that's up by the effect of a rank up. He's really good top decking, and you have a rank up soul save in your graveyard or something. Generally speaking, you're going to summon him, tribute himself off, and then add. Very rarely will you tribute off another Raid Raptor. I've had actually cases where I've tributed off like 4 Strix and then added Soul Save and then gotten 4 Strix back and ranked it up by 2 with Soul Save because of that. But however, aside from that, really generally speaking, you're going to tribute himself off. I don't know, for the one non-Raid Raptor I play 2 Harpies Harpist. She's really good. She searches out pretty much everything in the deck except for freaking Sharp and Tribute Lanius. That's really all she's useful in here. I'm actually wanting to drop her out. I'm probably going to drop her for main decking Max C. Right now I side Max C, but I'm probably going to drop her to main deck Max C at some point or another. Now then, that's it for the monsters. Yeah, not that many monsters that like you play. I mean, there's a crap ton of monsters in the deck. I kind of want to play Last Strix, but however, he's really not all that great until we get Skip Force, which is sad. Now then, for the spells, I play 3 Rank Up Magic Soul Save Force. My only gripe of this card is that there's no way to search it. Okay, Tribute Lanius can only search out quick play rank ups. This is not a quick play, it's a normal spell. But however, it's still really good. Whenever you activate it, you pay half your life points, you target any Raid Raptor XCs in your graveyard, special summon it, and rank it up by 2 ranks. It is a really good card. It allows you to go into Rise Falcon, freaking Infinity in this deck too, which is really stupid. And generally speaking, when you're losing and you're in top decking position, this is what you want to see, because it's just such a good card. Now then, I play 3 Upstart Goblins, just simply to get to my stuff faster. This deck doesn't have a lot of draw power, but it does have a lot of search power, so I like to have some draw power and some capability. I play 2 Twin Twister. Just basically lets you, get rid of back row. Back row is one of the big problems with this deck, is that it doesn't really have many ways of dealing with back row, which is pretty annoying. 2 Instant Fusion, just simply to go into Norden. That's about all this is used for. 2 Rank Up Magic, Doom Double Force. Basically what this does is if a exceeds Raid Raptor you control is destroyed by battle, you activate this, special summon it, rank it up by double. So 4 Strix dies, rank it up by double. And it doesn't say that it has to be a Raid Raptor that you go into with its effects, so you can theoretically go into 107 or something like that, which is pretty good. I play 2 Rank Up Magic Revolution Force. I like this card a lot. I know a lot of people don't really care for it, but this is the easiest way to go into Blaze Falcon during your turn, and also potentially even during your opponent's turn. Basically what this does is it has 2 effects. During your turn, it's your standard quick play rank up. You activate it during your battle phase or your main phase, and you rank up a Raid Raptor you control into another Raid Raptor. That's about it for your turn. But during your opponent's turn, if you activate it during your opponent's turn, you target 1 Xyz monster your opponent controls that has no Xyz material, take control of it, and then rank it up into a Raid Raptor that's 1 rank higher. So your opponent tries to 101 one of your monsters, you activate this, take control of 101, rank it up into a Blaze Falcon. Your opponent can't do anything really about it, except doing something to stop the take control of or targeting. It's a really good card. My only real issue with it is that there's not currently a rank of every single... there's not currently a Raid Raptor of every single rank. I really hope that we do get a Raid Raptor of every single rank, because that'd be really awesome. And then finally, 2 Raid Raptor Nest. I I used to play 3, but it's kind of cloggy at 3. Basically what this does is once per turn, if you control 2 or more Raid Raptors, you can add a Raid Raptor monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can only use that effect once per turn, so if you have multiples out on field, you can't use all of them, which is kind of upsetting. But basically, early to mid game, you're going to be using this card to search out your deck, thin your deck, and search out more stuff. During later mid game and late game, you're going to be using this card to get back stuff from your graveyard. If you do get that far. It's really nice though, just being able to get stuff back from your grave, get back your Vanishing Laniuses that you've used. I still wish there was some way to recur guys from your Banish Zone, because right now Raid Raptors don't have any way of getting back Mimicry or anything. That's it for the spells. Onto the traps. I play 3 Raid Raptor Readiness. I don't understand why nobody likes this card, okay? Excuse me. I was showing off my deck to some friends of mine, trying to get some people's opinions and stuff, and almost everybody told me to drop Readiness, and I'm like, why? And they're all like, it's bad, and I don't get it, okay? So Readiness, what this does is it has 2 effects. Whenever you activate it on the field, all Raid Raptors you control cannot be destroyed by battle. That alone is really good. Okay, now if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it. You take no damage whatsoever. Okay, now granted, you have to have a Raid Raptor in your graveyard to activate the engrave effect, but however, you take no damage whatsoever. No effect, no battle, no nothing. This card has saved my butt so many times, okay? Raid Raptors, they're monsters, okay? The boards they can make are really easy to crack with something like Dark Hole or just running over stuff, okay? Raid Raptors don't have very high attack power. This card helps the deck so much, and I highly, highly, highly recommend you play 3 of this card. It will save your butt, it will save your monsters, and it just, heck, if you're doing against that Magical Explosion FTK deck, you can banish this, and hey, you don't take any damage and your opponent auto loses. That's a bit of a side thing. But however, it's just such a good card. I don't understand why anybody would say no to this card. It is really, really good. I can't hammer that in enough. Next up, I play 2 Raptors Gust. I want to play 3, but however, I really honestly can't find a room right now, and I also don't exactly have a 3rd. I thought I had 3, but I can't find it. Anyways, it's a really good card. Basically, if you control a Raid Raptor, negate a spell or trap card that your opponent activates. It's a counter trap, so it can stop stuff like anything from like Mirror Force to a Pendulum card, and since it negates, that Pendulum card goes to grave, which is really nice. Then 2 Icarus Attack. I am very much tempted to drop this card, but however, it's also it's like one of those cards where I feel like I am so divided on, okay? On one hand, it's really good, but on the other hand, it's also not very great in this deck. However, the things that it does is just really, really helpful. You tribute off one of your Raid Raptors, destroy your opponent's Pendulum Scales before they get to do anything, and then, oh hey, just drew Soul Save 4's, activate that, bring back the Raid Raptor XCs, you just tribute it off. I've actually done that. This card, you can play 2 of it in the deck and be fine. I wouldn't recommend any more than 2. Like I know some Blackwings would play 3. I would not do that in this deck. 2 is good. I'm thinking about dropping it later on. I don't know. We'll see as time goes on. Now then, that's it for the main deck. As I said, 40 cards on the dot. And now onto the extra deck. As I said earlier, the extra deck is mostly Raid Raptors because of the simple fact that so many of the cards say you can only spell some out Raid Raptors that turn. You notice I don't have Call in the deck. I dropped it. It just wasn't all that great, and I had to cut down the deck a bit, so I dropped it out. But however, with that being said, let's get on with this. I'm just babbling at that point. Now then, 3 Raid Raptor Force Strix. It took me forever to get these, I'm not gonna lie. So basically, this guy is the card that we've been waiting for this deck. This guy is absolutely mandatory in the deck. He is so good in the deck. You need 3, automatically staple 3 of this card in the deck. You detach him, so he's generic, so you can go into this guy with like Norden and any of the other level 4, and you detach an Xyz material, add any level 4 Dark Wing Beast from your deck to your hand. So that's literally almost every single Raid Raptor. He has another effect where he gets 500 more attack and defense for every other winged beast you control. So at max, he can get up to 2100 attack and, oh my god, I think like 4500 defense. I can't remember. It's not often you do that, and usually when you do, you kind of want to just leave your board as is because it's so cool. Anyways, I played one Raid Raptor Rise Falcon. I know some builds don't play them at all, but honestly, if you're like me and you've been watching the anime and you've been seeing what Raid Raptors do, especially what this thing does, this thing has like a special place in my heart because it's one of my favorite XCs. It's so good. It's won me a few games. Just being able to steal the attack points of an opponent's special summon monster and run over everything they have is just so good. Like I like this card way too much, honestly. I played two Raid Raptor Blaze Falcon. Basically, this guy is arguably one of the best Raid Raptor XCs. Basically, what he does is, once per turn, you can detach an XC's material, blow up all special summon monsters your opponent controls, and then your opponent takes 500 damage for each one destroyed. At max, you can do 2,500 points of damage with this card, and since we're in a pendulum format and everything, it is really, really good. Now then, he has another effect, as if that already explosive effect wasn't enough. Basically, if he has an Exceeds material, he can attack directly, and if he does battle damage to your opponent, you get to pop pop a monster your opponent controls, which is pretty nice. I played two Raid Raptor Revolution Falcon. This card is, I would say, one of the best cards in the extract. Like, generally speaking, when you activate Rank Up Magic Soul Save Force, you're gonna go into this guy 9 times out of 10. Because this guy is an OTK machine, and heck, he eats up Cosmos for breakfast. Now then, this thing, whenever it battles an opponent's special summon monster, that monster's attack and defense are reduced to 0. Okay? Now, once per turn, you can detach an Exceeds material, and you can attack all monsters your opponent controls. Once each. So, yeah, that's really good. Just being able to attack everything, drop them all down to 0, and then, let's see, that's 2,500. You only really need to get 4 attacks in with that, if I'm doing my math right. Excuse me if I'm not. Which is really good. He has another effect where if he has a Raid Raptor Exceeds monster, attach him as an Exceeds material, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and then your opponent takes damage equal to half that monster's attack power. That effect isn't really all that great. You do it every now and then, but generally speaking, you're going to run it over because it's going to do a lot more damage. Now, the reason why this card eats up Cosmos is because he automatically drops all the ships down to 0. He doesn't target with that effect, and he can just keep running over all of the monsters that they special summon off of the ship's effects. The only thing is that today summon Dark Destroyer, he dies. Okay, because Dark Destroyer, you know, you have no way to stop that. Which kind of sucks. Then I played two Raid Raptor Satellite Cannon Falcon. You don't get to go into this guy very often, but I like it a lot. Basically, if he's summoned, you get to pop all spell and trap cards your opponent controls, and they cannot change, and they cannot chain to that. So they can't Phoenix chain it, they can't Book of Moon him, they can't do anything to stop that effect. The instant he is summoned, if they don't negate the summon, he is going to nuke their back row and they can't do anything about it. They can't effect failure him either, which is really nice. He has another effect where during the first turn, you can detach Exceeds material, target a monster your opponent controls, reduce its attack by 500 for every Raid Raptor in your graveyard. Generally speaking, by the time you summon this guy out, it's going to be 0 that they reach, which is really, really good. My only real issue with him is that he's not very good in the Cosmo matchup because, well, he's 3,000 attack and he can't target Dark Destroyer. Now then, for the non-Raid Raptor XCs, I play one Abyss Dweller, one Dark Rebellion, one Cyber Dragon Infinity. I would play 2 if I had to, but I only have 1 right now, so the 1 I'm going to have to deal with. And then one Igon the Sea Castle because being able to go into this guy as an option, he's really nice. I argue that he's one of the best rank 8s right now because once per turn, if player's turn, you can just banish an opponent, a monster out of your opponent's extra deck during each player's turn. Like, and it's for free. You don't have to, there's no cost. You just, okay, before you get to go into your extra deck, I'm going to banish a random card out of your extra deck and hopefully hit the card that I don't want you to have. It slims down your opponent's options and gives them less stuff. Also, if you're going against a Pendulum deck, that's even more deadly against them because their Pendulums are not safe in their extra deck while this guy is out. He has another effect where he can pop a monster, but it's not very great. You got to shuffle one of your opponent's Spanish extra deck monsters back into the deck, which you generally don't want to do. And then one Norden, because I only have one Norden and I don't think he's going to stay at 3 for very much longer. Now then, that's the deck, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any recommendations for the deck, please leave them in the comments below. And thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys later. Peace out.